Hello, DDP students, and welcome to the first video tutorial in our intergalactic fight scene. So it's all going to start with a lightsaber, and you should start everything by starting a new design and then saving it as lightsaber. You could also do a new component and do the same thing. But when we start drawing this, it's all going to start out first with a 1-inch diameter circle. Let's get that going. The next shape that we're going to be doing is we're going to be going to a circumscribed polygon like this, but we want this to be a construction line. We're going to start from the center and drag it outwards, and it's going to be a 0.54. Cool. Now we want this here to be horizontally orientated. So I'm going to go to my move copy and I'm going to grab some of these lines, or actually all of them. And I'm just going to rotate this in the general direction. I'm going to go to my constraint, my horizontal vertical constraint. I'm going to grab that, and that's going to horizontally orientate everything. So we're all good to go. So what we need to do, actually, I messed up here. Let's do this again. Our polygon needs 8 grips, 8 of them. So we're going to do our 0.54. We're going to go to our next field, and instead of 6, we're going to put 8. There we go. And now we're going to go to our move copy. Okay. Go to our horizontal vertical, grab the top line. Okay, now we're going to zoom way in here. Oops. And we're going to draw one of our grips. Okay, and it's going to go way in here. So we're going to start with a point. I'm going to put it at the corner here. And we're going to grab our line tool, and we want to start with a diagonal line. So I'm going to start with my point, but I'm going to drop it down to the next sort of sketch cross thing right here. And I'm going to start my line, and we want a really short line. That will do nicely, but we want this to be a solid line, not a construction. So we'll highlight it, take it off construction, go back to our line tool, and let's just go down to what feels like, went right back to construction. That's okay, we'll straighten everything out later. We want this to be a 90-degree. We can have it touch this construction line. This will continue to be a 90-degree, so it touches the outer perimeter of the circle. Now we're going to go to this here. We're going to click it so the line continues, but we want to go over to this corner and find that line that'll tell us what the actual angle is. And once we see that little circle there, that means that we're right across from here. We're going to keep that line going. And then we're going to estimate how much longer it is for it to be equal with the other side. And that looks okay with me. So I'm going to do a 90, see if I can get a 90-degree angle. There we go. Great. All right. So first things first, we need to get all of these to not be construction lines. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to hold down Shift so I can get multiple lines. I'm going to click off the construction. So we're good to go. All right. So now we're going to use a couple constraints. We're going to go to our equal constraint, and we want this, and we want this to be the same. We want this side and this side to be the same. And we want this side and this side to be the same. And it's sometimes, let's try that again because that didn't work out so well. Okay. Let's try it from the other side. All right. So what we can do is we can snip this off, but this is not equal now. So we need to equal this up. and that's going to change the size of it too. It really doesn't matter what the size is as long as each side is equal. So if we want it this way, that's fine. If we don't, we can redraw it, but sometimes adding these constraints does unpredictable things to it. But as long as this side is equal, this side and this side is equal, and this side and this side is equal, it's all fine with me. So we're just going to move on because there's a lot of steps in this to go over. So we're going to now do our circular patterning, where actually before we do that, let's sort of select all of these points here. Still on that constraint. Okay, let's do the circular patterning first. Okay, we're going to do the circle itself for the center point, and we have 3 of these that show up. We want 8, so we're going to keep bumping this up to 8, and we'll hit OK. All right, great. So we're going to finish this. And just to make it a little more visible, let's get off our we're not in the drawing phase. It's fine. Okay, so let's just select all the stuff. Okay, and we're going to extrude this out 3 inches. Okay, so this is what I consider the front. This is going to be the back right here. So I'm going to go to the back and I'm going to start a sketch on it. We need like a little base for this. So it's like a little grip handle. So we're going to go back to our circle tool. We're going to do a 1-inch diameter circle. We're going to finish the sketch. And we're going to grab this face and just do it a 0.1. Okay, and let's look at it from the side. It just adds a little bottom to it, and that's what we want. Okay, we're going to go back here. Let's see what our home view is. Okay, that's what we want. So we're going to create a sketch on here. And we're going to do the same thing where we're going to go back to our circle and we're going to do a 1-inch diameter circle. We're going to do a concentric circle here. And then we're going to add a few dimensions. So we're going to go from here to here. And let's do a 0.02. It's going to be, 0.02. And it's going to be a really small sort of space between here, but that's what we're looking for. Sketch. And this is going to be a 0.5. Okay. We're going to start a new sketch. And we're going to just do the same thing, only this time we're just going to do the concentric circle because I think we can still grab the circle right here. Just hit OK. And we'll just dimension that. There we go. 0.01. All right, we're going to finish that up. This here is going to be 2 inches. All right. And now we're going to create a sketch on this face. For this, it's gonna be taller than the rest of it, a wider width. So we're gonna still go with our circle tool, but we want this circle to be the same height as the grips or thereabouts. That looks good. We're gonna grab that. We're gonna extrude this and this profile. 0.5. Okay. Let's create another sketch. Okay, so for this, we're going to be putting in some rectangular features. Oops. So we're going to go to our point tool. And we want to put in a few points. One along here, the center, the right side, and the bottom. Let's go to our horizontal constraint, just to make sure everything's lined up. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're going to use these to go to our rectangle tool and use these as points to sort of grab a rectangle right here. Okay. We're going to round out these edges. So we're going to go to our fillet. And the 0.1 looks good, so we're going to go with that. We're going to finish this sketch. I'll grab this face, and this face. We're actually going to go back 1 inch. Oops, sorry, that should have been -1 inch. My bad. Okay, so -1. Do that one more time. Sometimes I'm not paying attention to whether it's a join or a cut. And I'm going to do that now. So we're going to do -1. And I see here it's a cut. So let's do a join. Okay, we're in business. Okay, so we're gonna finish up here. Still got a few more things to do, but we're gonna create a sketch over here. And we're gonna do our circle again, where we do a 1 inch diameter. Zoom in. We're gonna go to an arc that is the center point arc. And let's bring this out to, let's try 0.5. No. Okay, that's fine. 0.433. There's not an exact thing, but if it, somewhere between 1/2 inch and 0.3 inches will be fine. So we're going to use a line and we're going to just close off this profile on both ends. Okay, finish your sketch. Grab this profile and we're going to extrude that out 0.75. All right. So now what we got to do is we want to soften some of these edges and add a little more design to this. So we're going to go to our fillet and we're going to zoom into this right here. This edge. Okay. This edge and this edge. All right. So when we grab this, we want it to be more of a fluid sign like this. So we can just sort of double cool. All right, cool. Go with them. We're going to do something similar to the front. We're going to grab our fillet. We're going to do this, 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 and this. And we're going to grab and sculpt. Cool, that looks great. All right, so let's go back to our home view. And this is what we have. Now, we could certainly put all the details on it, and there's lots of videos to do that where you have buttons and you have rectangular plates and switches and things like that. But this is gonna be a prop in our overall fight. We're not gonna go too crazy on that. If you want to, you're more than welcome to, but this is okay with me. So the last thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna add our lightsaber here, create a sketch on this face, and we're gonna grab a circle that just has some space between. There's not a specific. Maybe let's do like a 0.8. Let's try 0.75. That looks good. We're going to finish the sketch. And let's just extrude this out. So let's zoom way out. And I don't have a specified length for this. Okay, I'll just show you how to sort of possibly finish it off. And then you can make your own length. So we'll do create sketch on this plane. And we want it to be gradually getting a little more tapered. So we're going to do a smaller circle. Okay, finish the sketch. And then let's create a work plane, an offset plane from there. And here I suggest just doing, I mean, you could do whatever you want, but I'm going to put a point right here just to it's going to make it more like a sword, but it's really kind of difficult to make it look exactly like a lightsaber. So this is my own solution. I'm going to finish the sketch. Okay, cool. And we're going to activate our loft tool. So let me grab this face, this profile, and then, okay. And then from here, obviously we can go to modify an appearance and change this to, whatever material. Okay, good. Maybe it's plastic, maybe it's something transparent, maybe it's acrylic, But when you do, you want to change the faces, and you can grab each one of these here. All right. I'm not saying this is the right tool, this is the right material to put on it, but this is just how you might change it up a little bit. So this is how you make the basic body of your lightsaber. And yeah, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a character for your fight scene. All right, and then we're going to import this in, and your character is going to fight with this lightsaber. All right, so I'll see you at the next video.